Let's get this started right. Let's do it just right. The devil's busy. Let's keep it going. I'm missing somebody. And you know, before I even get your blunt, get your Hennessy, grab your Bible, cause you know I'm gonna touch. You know I'm gonna do that. No, this isn't about the church reading the church people reading each other. Don't get this twisted. Let's not make this something that it's not. We're just gonna talk in truth. And you know, people think that church people cannot talk about their own experiences. I'm trying to add. Let me add my girl in. People think that yes, use your Bible app. This is not an Orthodox church, all right? We're not having Orthodox church tonight. I got me some cheap red wine. And I mean, I've been wanting to do this for a minute, not just talk about, you know, there's so much to talk about. Racists are still rampant. But I talk about the church because I'm grounded in it. You know, like I have a foundation there. I come from a lineage of preachers, and I've been a preacher, been that. And I just think that there's certain things that are just completely out of order. And the thing is, we don't talk about them enough. And so people usually, and if you've known me for any length of time, although I'm usually unfiltered, I keep somewhat of a filter. You know, I keep it digestible. But as we kind of touch on all of these things and why I'm frustrated, you know, like I'm gonna just be honest. And I think this is great. Like, you know, people that don't go to church, they didn't grow up in church, they don't get it. I think hearing somebody talk from the standpoint that I'm coming from, I think it's good for them to hear, because sometimes people don't even understand how you're wired. And you know, if you were brought up a certain way and you learned things a certain way and you were forced to understand things a certain way, then you're very, very guarded when it comes to the church and when it comes to the things that you were taught. But some of the things that we were taught were erroneous. And some of them were just plain damn wrong. And we stood for things that are wrong, and we still stood behind people that are wrong. But you can't continue to stand by institutions that are wrong and have a problem with the administration that's in the White House today. Like, that's what you cannot do. So you cannot. Let me not even go there. Let me not even get there. Tell your friends, tell them to come.
That's a whole other conversation.
Tweet's about done, so I think we can go ahead and get started. Atlanta, you know, Black Atlanta, at least. I probably will do this a couple times because I know y'all's resident morning show is going live tomorrow, and they're going to have the new pastor of New Birth there. And some of you are very shocked about Jamal Bryant. Well, if you haven't heard, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's backtrack a little bit.
Start from the beginning.
You may be watching this, you came across this, and you just like my yellow hoodie, and you're like, let me click live. You don't even know what New Birth is, never heard of it. That's okay. You may not know who Jamal Bryant is. That's okay. This isn't necessarily like, while they will be referenced multiple times over and over and over again, this is about order. And this is also about decency and humanity and love and honesty and transparency and philanthropy and treating people right. Treating people right. Let's just treat people right. So as far as and I'm reading comments. I'm here for it. I know I'm gonna get completely dragged and slandered. And listen, the one thing that you could do at any moment is try to call me to the carpet. I am so transparent about everything that transpires. So you're not gonna catch me up. I already talked about it. I did a show for 5 years that I talked about everything I've ever done, 4 hours a day. I stood in the pulpit at New Birth, validation right here, and talked about everything that I have ever done, ever. I don't care if it's, from a lie to who I had sex with. I talked about it at New Birth in the pulpit there. So I'm gonna stand. Tonight. You got a question, I got an answer. And there's certain things. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Let's start this. Tiffany Mackey, hey, what's going on?
Hey,
got your favorite
what's
blind,
going
got your favorite libation. What do you got? What are you on? I know
on?
you
You know
don't
what?
want
I
the
should have
people to know
grabbed me
you
some
smoke
wine.
blunts.
I do not smoke blunts. Don't do that.
You just gonna lie?
Don't do this. Don't do this tonight.
All right, let's
Don't do
that's
this
irrelevant.
tonight.
That's neither here nor there. So I'm talking about it because I was trolling a little bit. I definitely took a couple petty pills today, and a lot of you are seeing news right now. Jamal Bryant was just named the new senior pastor of New Birth. I'm gonna take you back to my introduction to New Birth. Actually, I'll go further than that. This girl right here, Tiffany Mackey. Some of you have seen me live with her before. I wish I could bring more people live, but we had technical difficulties with the other platform. So tomorrow, the conversation will be more expensive because more people will be involved. I'll do it again, and I'll bring more people into it tomorrow. But for now, it's me and Tiff. I've known Tiffany since I was 16. For some context, we went to high school together. She's definitely like a blood sister to me at this point. We also went to New Birth together. Now, I will go ahead and tell you where a New Birth came into my life later in life. I moved to Atlanta as a kid, knew a lot about New Birth, didn't go to New Birth. I went to a very not New Birth type church. It's pretty big now. A lot of people go there. Stop
That's
inviting
really
me
not
when I
New
come
Birth.
back to Atlanta because I'm not coming there either. To that point,
That's funny.
I landed at New Birth when I was like 21, 22. Came, and you know how, Christians, you know how it goes. You grow up in the church, you go to college, you do what you do, maybe you backslide a little bit, you come in. I had this moment at New Birth, real talk. Like I'm gonna give y'all the truth tonight. I had this moment. I went to a New Birth watch night service, 2007 or 2008. I'm sitting in the service. I'm a church kid. I grew up in the church. I don't know what was going on the whole service. The whole time, all I heard, I felt like there was an altar call after altar call, and I just knew I had to get my life right. Like I'm sitting in there, like, damn, like this is hitting me. The service ended. I was in there with my homies. We were going to the club after the service. They went one way, I went the other. Went down to the altar call. Let me rededicate. Let me get this together. All right, cool. I do that. I rededicate my life. I get into it. I'm like, I know about this big. I'm trying to limit my cussing tonight. I know about this big place. I'm just trying to get my. They're like, do you want to join the ministry? No. I'm just here to rededicate. Pray with me, lady. Pray with me, lady, and let me be on my way. Well, we got Bible study, and I won't be here. And I was really convicted anyway that night. I ended up going back. I went to New Birth faithfully for I was volunteering. I was doing all the things, like when people never grew up in church and then they get involved and they do everything. I was volunteering I wasn't an usher, but I was volunteering at conferences. Jessica's in the comments. That's actually where I met Jessica. And Jessica is probably the reason that I have this New Birth story. And I'm gonna put you on blast like that, Jessica, because let's for the sake of time, and people watch. I'm a storyteller, so if you know me, you know I can just talk, and I'll tell the same story over and over and over again. To that point, I met Jessica. Jessica introduced me to another leader at New Birth at the time. I get invited to, and this is when they didn't know what we were, right? Millennial, like that. This was a buzzword. There were books out. I have a meeting with the leader there. I get invited to this meeting with Bishop Long, who was the late Bishop Long at the time, about transform millennials. That's it. I go to this meeting. There's about maybe 70, 80 people in this meeting, right? Bishop Long gets up and says, look, we need you people, you millennials, that's what they're calling you guys, to lead this place. And we need a plan for this church for 20 years from now. Oh, I'm going to hit it tonight. So we need a plan. We need a plan. And so I'm telling you, like 80 people, they fed us, catered breakfast. It was really, 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 really nice. I met a group of people there at the end of that meeting. You're right, Jess. It was on a thumb drive. And to that point, for all of you that know about the scandal, which that'll be a little bit of this, but not much. They gave us a thumb drive to invite us to the meeting. And on the video on the thumb drive, Bishop Long was in his athletic wear. That same athletic wear that y'all seen that he's in the picture. That he was wearing that. Anyway, to that point, he invited us to this meeting. We go. We're supposed to come up with a plan. All these people are coming up with plans well, they're saying they're going to come back. We get invited to a meeting 2 weeks later to come back and tell, what the plans were. I got together with some people and we came up with a solid plan. New Birth was huge. At this time, all the services were packed. I was leaving. I wasn't really trying to be all in this like this. I used to leave like before the benediction because the traffic was a problem. So I was out. Like I'm out. All of a sudden now I know people. I've been here a year and a half and now I know people and I'm here. They're talking to me. I don't want to talk to you. I want to go. This is out of control. So this is how you become a pastor. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. My dad says that a lot. So we come back to meet with Bishop Long. They make the announcement that he's not going to be there, but we're going to meet anywhere. Oh, we're going to meet anyway. When they said that, how many people you think showed up to the meeting when they said Bishop Long wasn't going to be there? Everybody wanted to be there when he was going to be there. It was just a good about 15 of us that showed up to the second meeting. All right. It's all good. We show up and it was nice, right? We have this presentation. We're like, you know what? This church is huge. I was young, like post-college. This church has something for everyone. Like literally, they had something for everyone. College, singles, married, kids, private school, all of that. But what about the person that graduates from college? What about the person that has what about that person that's in between 22 and 32? They don't want to come to a meat market at church. They just want to come, we're a little lost. We're trying to figure this out. We come and present. Now, I said some other things. I'm very observant. So the same Alex that you get all day long, that's who I was. It was the same. I was like, just some observations. Like, this church, I know it's very traditional. It's very old. Your pictures are everywhere. You take them down. Take these pictures of you, Bishop, take those down. Amidst other things, take your name off of everything. Nobody cares. Like things like that, which I didn't have the best delivery, but it was what it was. As I fast forward through this story, we present this program to them. And part of my observations was you got like 100 elders, 150 ministers. You got a whole bunch of people in here doing nothing. This is great for them to lead. We created the program. This is great. This is lasting for you. This is wonderful. They're like, okay, we're going to review it. We're going to get back to you. 2 weeks later, they get back to us. Bishop likes the program. That's wonderful. That's great. Who's going to lead us? Tell us, we're going to sign up. We're going to be here. We're going to commit. Bishop would like you to lead it. That's going to be a hell no. It's a hell no. Hey, I grew up in the church. I don't work at some churches. I'm not the person that you need working here at your church. You don't need that. Like, this is me. I literally said that. Yeah, that's all well and good. Bishop wants you to do it anyway. This is probably the same look that I had on my face then at that moment. Okay, so that happens. All of a sudden, we've created this ministry for young adults. So it's me, I'm packing it in. And if you were, I mean, you've probably been connecting me for a while if you're watching this. I was in there all the time, checking in there, posting there. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Hella connected, very involved, very passionate, put a lot of time and energy into the place. And I'm telling you this backstory because literally this is why I'm so passionate, so pissed, and so confused. I put a lot of time and energy, as did many people. Like this place was a machine, and as big as it was, it felt like a family. Like I knew people, I know people, I still know people, I still consider them family. I'm headed to Bible study one Tuesday, seeing an alert, Bishop Long, scandal. Bruh, what is this? What is this? What is this? Reading, scandal. Bishop Long, little boy, scandal. I go to church anyway. Get to church. Now, you know, these are praying people. So the people in the church, they don't get news alerts. They get alerts from Joel Osteen. They don't get news alerts. I go in there, there's like a handful of us that have seen the news. We have a praise and worship night. Bishop never comes down at all. Nothing. Now, mind you, I had just become the leader of this ministry. I am perplexed. You know, like, what is this? I'm not getting any information. Next thing you know, the next morning, I'm summoned to a meeting. What was it, 5 a.m., Jess? Let's have a prayer meeting. Praise him. And so we had to come. We got briefed. We found out what was going on. Needless to say, look, I was there through that scandal. I stood through it. I questioned things. I pushed things, but I was there. And I feel this way. When you put your blood, sweat, energy, tears, and money into a place, they are responsible to treat you as somebody that has done just that. Blood, sweat, energy, tears, and money. Y'all got some of these pastors now that will say, oh no, you doing God's work, but you gonna do what I say. No, that's not the way that it works. Accountability is necessary. Accountability is a necessary, not evil, a necessary component of a successful ministry. Accountability is a successful component. And the thing is, people are gonna look at and I already know the opposition coming, and I'm not here for it. You know, like, well, you know, your loyalty. It's not about loyalty. It's about honesty. It's about being trustworthy. It's about being honest. And to this place, I was just that, as were many of the people there that have been mishandled and mistreated. And so I stood there through that scandal. I stood there through crazy, and hear my heart, right? I was there because I felt like I was called to the place at the time. And I was. I don't take anything away from that. Everything that went down there, from being selective, because I might do this again tomorrow, crazy. And it is baffling to say that and Tiff, help me with my words here. When you put your trust and your faith in a leader or in leaders, and you're expecting them to do the right thing, and without giving you all of it, I'll say things like this. I understand the place was hit with the scandal because I was there. I prayed through it. I stood through it. I was literally there. But when you have initiatives and you have programs, and this is to you, young leader, you young pastor, you want to start an initiative and you want your people to be committed to it, you want them to believe in it, tell them the truth. Be honest with them. Tell them what's going on. because it's not about optics. Optics change, news cycles change, nothing remains the same, and people are fickle. People don't remember. To that point, people don't remember Jamal Harrison Bryant dragging Bishop Eddie Long through this scandal, through the mud, the new pastor, through the mud, asking for a resignation, saying that he was indignant, saying that he was out of order.
And so much more.
It's out there. Go find it. This same person is now leading that place. So I can't sit here. I can't sit here and pretend like I don't feel like this is a move that was made other than for the love of money. Now, before I kind of go into the Jamal story,
be specific.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm a journalist. B, I am objective. So I'm going to tell you why I think they chose Jamal. I'm also going to tell you why I think he's going to work. I had to give you that history so you know I'm not just talking BS. I'm not somebody that just has a random ass opinion. I'm somebody that's New Birth's going to be sending me emails tomorrow and text messages and probably a cease and desist for me to take this down, and it's not coming down. However, let's talk about optics, right? You had a 25,000 member church, 8,000 member sanctuary. That was full twice on Sundays. Massive offerings. Which, to the point, I am pissed about one that I wasn't going to bring this up, but I am going to bring this up. I gave it to an offering there for 2 years. It was called Beyond Tomorrow. The offering was
definitely gonna get an email tomorrow.
That was set up for the future. This was an endowment that was set up for the future. We are raising that, and now New Birth, you're watching. You already know the baskets are going to pass twice. And if you don't want to drop your offering in the second time, you can come up to the altar. When y'all watch New Birth on TV, you wonder why people going up, throwing that money on the altar. That was for Beyond Tomorrow. That is so that New Birth didn't have to go to the bank 20 years from now and get anything, because this money that they were collecting as an endowment was going to be there and laid up for future generations. I sat in a meeting, no lie, leadership meeting, where they said basically we used the Beyond Tomorrow money yesterday. So ain't no more money. Me sitting there, other leaders sitting there. Are you going to tell the people? No, they're not. We're going to get around to it. You didn't tell the people. You should have told the people. This is why people don't trust places like this. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, and I'm going to be frank with you. As a leader there, when they made that announcement that they used the Beyond Tomorrow today, that was the last time I gave a New Birth offering. No lie. I was done with that. I can't. You are responsible for the money that you put in. Now, and a lot of people are going to call up to New Birth and ask for their money back, because it's supposed to be laid up for 20 years from now, but it's not there. So from an integrity standpoint, I had some issues. What matters is they got a new pastor, right? There was one that was installed after he left. He's not there.
At the direction of Bishop Long.
Let's just say he's not there.
No, I mean, he was installed at the direction of Bishop Long.
He's not there. So let's Jamal's gonna work. Okay, let's do that. Bishop Long, very charismatic, right? Very charismatic. A change agent in the city. What we do know, and if you're new to Atlanta, you may not know this. Bishop Long changed a lot of things and made a lot of moves in the city that were significant. DeKalb County, for the most part, a lot of it is developed, and it is what it is because of contributions that were made by New Birth. So with the congregation that size, with the people committed to the vision, you can change things. When a scandal hits something, people leave, you can't change anything. New Birth is a strategy center. And I said this earlier on my page, and this is, we can agree to disagree. Send me a message. I'll argue with you because I love that. It's a strategy center. So they're strategic. Bishop Long was controversial. He moved people. He said things. He was a mover. He was a shaker. He was dynamic. People sometimes came just to see him. I have never seen people fall out when someone stands up and just says, now, and you're just out. Like, it's a strange phenomenon. All of the candidates that they had didn't really match up. You know what I'm saying? They weren't flashy. They're not arrogant. And Bishop Long, as lovely as he was a great man, honestly, he really was. He had a lot of arrogance. He was also very, 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 very sensitive. So I don't know if Harrison Bryant has that, but what I do know is that he's charismatic. He is attractive to a church crowd. He uses buzzwords. He's all about the feeling, and that is going to work for New Birth. That's going to work. Right now, the seats are empty. Often, like empty. I can tell you that it's going to start to fill up. Number one, because people want to see what's going on. Number two, because people that left, and you may be one of those people, you left because there was a scandal, it was too much, you weren't getting any answers, but you didn't really want to leave what you call home. Now you feel like you can go back home without judgment. You can go back home because it's a new thing at a new birth. You can go back home and you are going to be part of the number. Own it when you go back. Own it. Own it. Because people are going to go back. The place will be plagued with scandal. And what I want to do just for kicks and giggles, you spend time in the New Birth Instagram comments and the New Birth Facebook comments, because these people are upset. While there's a barrage of people coming like, congratulations, let's move things, let's change Atlanta. You got other people like, did the board even Google the man? For what purpose would you take a place that has been plagued with arguably the largest Black church scandal to ever hit the world? Largest Black church scandal, that's probably a fact. That's probably a fact. Largest Black church scandal to ever hit the planet. You're going to take that place with a deceased pastor, ignore the new pastor, push him out, and go get somebody else that is in a scandal every other year. Every other year. Every other year.
You done flipped the camera.
I'm a little frustrated. Tiff, you, as involved as you were more observation. You know, I can't ever deny, I was literally in the trenches. Like, I was up in it deep, like deep down. You as an observer, as somebody that was there at that same time, how do you feel as somebody that poured into this place that gave you life? How do you feel? Like, you know how the Bible always talks about being a good steward of the things that you're entrusted with? How do you feel like the church has been, this church that's been entrusted with this amount of people, how do you feel that they have stewarded these people?
Well, being that I know that they didn't steward me well, and that was one of the reasons I left. And to be clear, my story is not exactly the same as Alex's. I actually fought going to New Birth for quite some time, and was thrown into that ministry, not through that meeting. But I still spent a lot of time in ministry there, still know plenty of people from New Birth, still get messages and text and all of that from people that went there, still
Not
go
not
there.
to interrupt you. None of this should be confused as a lack of love, because I got love for the people there.
Not
Like
at all.
literally, I have love for the people, and I feel like this is another problem amongst us as family. We don't speak. We don't speak. We don't speak.
Right.
I haven't. I mean, that's it's. I'm not gonna be on live all night. We're not gonna talk about how I was ousted out of New Birth for the same mouth that I'm using right now. You gotta go. You either get on board with the BS that we doing, or you go.
And see, for me, I left before a lot of that stuff happened. And I hated it, but I was sad when I left. When I felt like, okay, it's time for me to go, I was actually really disheartened. I was really sad. And then through the last couple of years, we went back for Bishop's funeral. And I'm gonna be honest, that felt more like the church. I'll say at least the worship piece of it and the respect and honor piece of it, that felt more like the church and the family that I grew to love and cherish more than the last couple of services I ever attended at New
Okay.
Birth. The last time I went to New Birth, period, it was a different vibe, different era, whatever. But I'm saddened, I'm disheartened, I'm all the things, all the feelings um, about the moves that they've been making as of late, and about this move because I've met Jamal Bryant and have read all the scandals and articles and all of that, like like most of the people that you and I know.
Here's the real reason that I'm here. I genuinely love people. Like, I genuinely love people. I
Agreed.
do not like to see people abused. I speak out on behalf of people that are marginalized, ostracized, any type of injustice, disservice, things like I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And too often we sit by while we have people leading these churches, leading these churches, saying that they're charged in Jesus' name, and it's a bunch of bull. Like, it's a bunch of, like, you cannot really align any of these nuances with the Jesus of the Bible. You just really you just can't do it. You just can't do it. Now, though I have some fundamental issues, my charge and my call, and really what I want, like, this is what I want. I want people to hold the church accountable. And I felt like there's no way. Yeah, I'm a little petty today. I'm trolling a little bit. And I think rightfully so, because I've held my tongue for too long. Like, I literally, the things, and I say it to a small group of people. That's the thing. You can ask anybody. I probably have the people that's watching. If I've had a personal conversation with you, I told you that I'm mad about something. And it's not like I'm a mad, angry person. I'm mad about something that like, literally, when you study the Jesus of the Bible, and I like to tell people, ask my friends, I like to tell Bible stories, and I put the characters in the Bible like they grew up in the country or grew up in the hood. And I tell that's why I literally got to tell stories like that. And when you see the humane aspect of this Christ that so many say that they serve, like the humane aspect that above all there was love, above all there was
Yeah,
people,
that's scripture.
above all there was people. There is not to I'm not going to preach you a sermon. But the most moving scripture in my life for the last 3 years has probably been, and it's recorded in a number of the Gospels. Jesus is asked, "Teacher, what is the greatest commandment?" He says, "First, love the Lord your God with all your heart. Second, love your neighbor as yourself." If you've ever grown up in a church, you've heard that over and over and over again, and you're like, I heard it before, but you didn't really hear it. Here's the thing. You love yourself through anything. Any lie that you tell, anything that you ever took from somebody, anything that you've ever done, you love yourself through all of that. you should love your neighbor that same way. That message needs to go to church leadership everywhere. You got to love these people without manipulating them. You
Accurate.
just can't do that. You just can't. And so a
That's
time
not
is going
love.
to come where, while I do think that this is a win, if I'm gonna put my Republican hat on for now, we're gonna look at the numbers, and we're going to look at
Jesus.
what Jamal Bryant could possibly do. And preachers everywhere are watching me right now, like, bro, but boy, you a fool. You a fool if you don't think they want them numbers up. They ain't trying to get them numbers up. They are trying to do that. I know that. At the
And it will
cost
work.
of souls all over the place. Man, you can't,
Yep.
there's no way that I can be convinced that a thorough vetting and a solid and logical pastoral search was done in the interest of the people at a place that I once called home. Don't think that happened. And it pissed me off. It pissed me off today. It pissed me off. And you know what? The old school is like, oh, don't you come. And like I told y'all on my status, don't come at me with that touch not mine anointed. Jamal has already touched them all. He's already done that. I don't like, we're not going to take the scripture out of context, but Jamal he's already done that. And that's what we know. And so I won't endorse it. I won't endorse it. I won't stand behind it. I'm going to troll it and I'm going to watch every episode. And unfortunately, business is business. That's a great comment. Business is business. Church is church. And Jesus is still Jesus. And that part, literally, that's that on that. That is that. Business is business, and that is that on that.
That's the perfect comment
That's
to sum
how
up
I
this
end it.
entire
That is
move
that
of
on that. Blessings to the new Birth Missionary Baptist Church Incorporated. Don't leave that off from now on. Whenever you mention them, make sure you say that. I will. New Birth Missionary Baptist Church Incorporated. It's a damn shame. It is. It is. I kept it clean. More's going to come out. You know, I will probably be back because the word is he's going to be on the Frank and Wanda morning show tomorrow. And this is the thing. The same way, let me go back. Hold on. The same way that y'all sit and try to hold Donald Trump accountable. And I've said this before. People turn me off, and I don't care. I'm going to say it again. You're not holding your pastors accountable. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. You see things that are wrong and you don't speak on it. But you got so much to say about this White House. You got so much to say about this president. Sarah Sanders gets up there and lies, and so does your first lady, and you ain't said a damn thing to her. Preach. You have not said a word. And this is why the body is out of order. You're pissed at Donald Trump, but you sit up in a church every Sunday, get lied to, and you know the truth, and you still sit in there, or you won't. You talk about you want to hold the powerful accountable, or you just waiting on Fox 5 to do it. Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to stand up in your truth, in the truth that you say that you believe? Because stop calling yourself Bible believing and all of that. And I'm telling you, I'm an equal opportunity truth teller. If you're a bigot, you're a bigot. If my daddy was a bigot, I would tell him he's a bigot. You know what I'm saying? If my pastor's a bigot, I'm going to tell him you're a bigot. Like, this Jesus that you serve hasn't changed your life that much, Pastor. And I'm not talking about the scandals that we know about. I'm talking about when you see a minister mistreating a layperson, somebody that's in there for the first time, talking to them all types of ways. Y'all think some of this stuff is not funny. Pastors throwing people out of the church for what they look like, what they wearing. This is my church. This is not your church. It's not. It's not. It double like it's not yours. Well, I oversee the decency and the order. All right. Go search your Bible. Talk to your Bible. Talk to like I mean, and y'all people I'll be back.
For those who don't know, he didn't make up any of those situations. Those were all accurate headlines, articles, situations.
Yeah,
Just in case y'all didn't
I'd
get
be
those push
frustrated,
alerts.
man. I am often perplexed and bothered. And
Frequently.
you know, like it is what it is. I'll end it by saying this, man. My life literally, I went through such a transformational time while I was there. Met amazing people. Literally, the crew that I used to pray with, my New Birth crew. I never felt like I've ever been in a prayer session with any people like that. Like people that really like these are my friends. You know, like these are the people they're really serious about this. And when we got serious, man, the church got rid of us. And I'm not lying about that. That's another story for another day. When we was like, look, okay, this is out of order. We need to call some order here. We need to talk about this. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not somebody, I'm telling you, I could tell you I can talk like this because I stayed through the scandal. I was there. I was there. Like, literally. I put some little jokes out today. Yeah, Bishop did give me a rag full of his sweat. I'm sure. My petty pill is kicking in now. I'm about to go. Look, man, I can't. You find it is a shame that we are literally finding more people that believe and walk in truth that won't step foot into a church than we find up in that place.
Accurate.
Stop asking why. Like, oh, well, you know, church attendance is low because y'all be lying.
And
You be
manipulating.
lying and using. And this is a PK, I'm talking about a PK former preacher telling you it's not cool. Cut it out. Just cut it out. Cut it out. And for those of you that think that this situation needs prayer, pray for the man. Pray for the man.
And the church and the people.
I don't think I feel like.
I feel like.
Do you have me on somewhere?
Do you have me on somewhere?
Or you your headphones out?
No.
I feel like I've given all my prayers. I ain't having no prayers.
I've given all my prayers.
I don't.
You're not praying for the people?
Not.
I am not.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me. You know how I stuttered just like George Bush did when he said it. You're not gonna fool me. You're not gonna keep. Y'all are crazy. Y'all. Don't be mad when there's breaking news of the next scandal. With that, y'all be blessed.